Hello, just checking we're recording. Hello, welcome back to another top 5 video. When I first started to do these, I think I'd do them every 2 weeks, but so far I've been able to think of a top 5 to do every week. So if I can keep thinking them every week, then great. I've got 2 weekly videos with the podcast and with these, and then hopefully as my channel grows and grows, we'll be able to add another video in and another one. I've got some really great ideas. So this one is this one is titled The Top 5 Ways Astrology Can Help Your Life. Now I do have to be honest and say these are very broad. What's going on with my voice? These are very broad. If I was to have an individual conversation with a person, I would probably give a different 5 reasons for every person. In fact, I could probably do this video 5 times in a row and give you 5 different reasons. The reasons really are infinite and everybody's unique. So these 5 may not necessarily resonate with you. All 5 of them might resonate with you. Only 1 or 2 might resonate with you. Please remember, take what is useful. Discard what is not and add what is uniquely your own. You are unique. There is only one of you. You are individual. I could never do a video tailored specifically to you without tailoring a video specifically to you. A YouTube type video. Just take what is useful to you. Okay, so let's bring up the first title page. There we go, and cue up the next one. And let's hope that each one of these is better than the last podcast. If you saw that, I had a slide where I hadn't put the video link and the sound in, so there was about 30 seconds of just absolute silence, whilst in the background I was freaking out and trying to make it work, and it was fun. But yeah, it looks like everything's working fine. I can see myself. Grim, but I also have a bit of a cough and a cold. We're coming up to the equinox. I always come with a bit of a cough and a cold when we reach the 4 main points. The next podcast will actually be about the Easter equinox or the spring equinox, or there's many words for it, and we'll get to that on the next video. That one should be a bit of an exciting one. I'm looking forward to it. I see it as my body's time to cleanse itself. There are certain things that my body requires to get it through the winter that it no longer needs when it's in the springtime. So it's a chance to get rid of all that stuff through the bodily fluids that come out when we have a cold. We won't get into that too much. So I see being ill or having a bit of a cold as an absolute blessing. For me, it means my body's doing the job it should be doing. My immune system's there. It's strong. If I didn't have a good, strong immune system, I wouldn't get ill. I would just be worm food, quite frankly. So I know it's not nice to hear if I end up coughing or you can hear the phlegm or anything like that. I can only apologise. I'm dedicated to getting these videos out at a certain time. I can't wait until the symptoms have eased up. So, just 1 second. Okay, so 5 ways astrology can help your life. Unless they don't vibe with you, and then it's not that. But hey, we need to do these kind of, what do they call it, clickbait type titles, just to try and get people watching the videos, don't we? Right, the first one, not a victim. What do I mean by that? Well, firstly, I'm going to have a little sip of my tea because I'm British and I drink tea. Not a victim. A lot of things will happen to you in your life. The ups and downs of the cycles, when certain planets return. Now, understanding your own chart, your own struggles, and understanding how the planets are transiting those spaces in your chart help you to realize that every bad thing that happens to you is a test, it's a challenge, it's something to overcome. And once you really realize that and you use astrology to guide you as a compass, you start to realize that you're not being victimized. You're not a victim. If anything, through the hardships, you're going to get to a better place. You're being challenged for sure, but is that not the point of life? Life is not given to you on a silver platter. You've got to work for it and graft for it and build something out of it yourself. So it really helps to minimize that victim mentality, which is very much toxic, really. Seeing yourself as a victim, as a burden, only increases your chance of going into a poor mental state that does not serve you. And astrology, as well as many other forms out there, not just astrology, but for me personally, astrology is a great way to remind myself of that. And I believe it can do so with you. So let's go on to point number 2. Weather report. Weather report. Well, astrology is not really going to tell you whether it's raining or snowing as such. I mean, it can indicate such things, but that's not really the purpose that I bring astrology out for anyway. So by weather report, I'm speaking allegorically. I'm speaking metaphorically, right? So if you was going out for a swim in the natural waters on a lake or something, you'd have to check the weather report. You can either have a lovely swim or it can be an incredibly dangerous thing to do. Same if you was going on a hike or if you was going on a run, or many things that you would do in life that you would do in the outside world, you would check the weather for. So when it comes to our personal strifes and challenges and what we want to do, what we want to create, where's the weather report? Well, it's in the heavens, as above, so below. So if you wanted to start a new project, start a business, create a group or a gathering, astrology can help you to do that. It can show you when the times for you would be most successful and not successful. It can show you when you would, for example, today is Wednesday. This will go up on Friday, but it's Wednesday today. And in my little short of the astrological review, I speak about Mercury. Now, today is a really bad time to get into an argument. And you're likely, when you have conversations with people, it can be triggering and it can spark an argument, which has the potential to break down your relationships around you. So me being able to present a form of weather report to you that sort of says, look, try not to take things personal, don't be aggressive with your conversations. Don't try and push your point across, because it can, upset a person to a point where you can actually sever that relationship with them, which you then may later regret. That's the kind of weather report I'm talking about. Can also, like I said, help you with opportunities or with discipline. It can help you, if you're a parent, it can help you understand when you should be pushing your child, and then when you should be nurturing your child. There's a lot that we can learn from the weather report as the planets transit your natal chart where they were dependent on your birth, which to everybody is absolutely unique. I've never seen two charts that are the same, and I've never met two people that are the same. So that's what I mean by weather report. The next one, connection to all things. Just have a little brew. Bear with me, guys. Connection to all things. Now, you'd think that looking at the stars and looking at the heavens above, that it would take you away. But what you really realize is that as above, so below, as within, so without, everything is connected within this incredible design, this magnificent design. And once you really start to realize that, you see that you're not a part of the world. You are the world. You're in the universe, and the universe is in you. It's all part of the same consciousness, life form. So, like, what I will teach in, I think, maybe 2 or 3 podcast time is about the planets. Now, just to briefly go through it, there are 7 wandering stars. There are other planets for sure, but we do not see them with our eyes. But there are 7 that move within their own transit. They move within their own circle. They are not fixed to the heavens. Apologies. 7. There are also 7 chakras. Do you think there might be a connection there? I personally do. So what is above is also within. What is without is also what is below. These it's everything is everything. There is a connection to everything, and astrology can help to try to make sense of that, and it can also help to deepen that connection you feel to everything around you, everything inside you, everything above you and below you. We are all, everything is connected. All forms of consciousness are within this incredible thing that we call life or reality or the universe. Uni is one verse, and that is you. Or at least you're a piece of it. You're the all of it. You're like the drop in the ocean, but you're also the ocean itself. Yeah. Connection to all things. That's one thing in my journey of learning astrology that has been unavoidable, really. You have to come to that understanding that we are a creation and creation itself. Seems somewhat paradoxical, but that's what it is. Number 4, to look within. So again, similar to the connection with all things, you think with astrology, looking out would take you away from looking within. But then you come to realize that the only way that that has any influence over you is because you are that. It's just a different expression. So it helps you to look out so you can look in. Every consciousness itself is out and in, as within, so without. It really is this balance, this pull and this push, this dance with the heavens, but also with the internally. I believe all the sacred texts can be read as the heavens and the body as well. That's what makes them sacred. That's what makes them beautiful. Speaking of the sacred texts, it helps to unlock mythology, the hidden stories within these teachings, whether it's Nordic mythology and you call them Thor and Freya and Baldur and Hodor and Odin and Loki and Tyr, or it's the Greek mythology and you call them Zeus and you call them Aphrodite, you call them Helios, Rhea, Hera, Hermes, Aries, or you look at the Roman counterparts. Now all of a sudden they're called the same names as the planets. They're called Jupiter, Mars, Moon, Sun. Really sorry for this coughing. That's why I keep trying to drink my tea. Try to ease it a little bit. And then you can look at the Bible and see the 7 archangels. Although to see all 7, you would have to look at some of the books that have been taken out of the Bible. However, it fits with all. They all start to fit together, and you start to realize that these are sort of singing from the same hymn sheet. It just changed by their cultural values and the way that they like to tell stories. If you want to see the warrior versions, you read the Nordic myths. If you want to see the philosophical versions, you read the Greek myths. But the stories, when you take them from being like people and put them as to being archetypes, and realize that the stories are metaphorical, you start to unlock the mystery within the mythology. And astrology, I believe, is that key in order to do that. Once you start to piece everything together, it starts to reveal itself in such a beautiful way. Whether we call them planets or we call them gods, we call them Aesir, we call them Olympians, we call them angels. They have many names, and they all still recognize that there is a creationary force. There is a creation, what some people may call the singular God. Even Odin recognizes such. Gaia and Uranus were born from chaos. Were born from the first dimension, where everything is born from the one true creator. So they were the 5. Actually, let's go back to them and just run back through them. So the first one is not a victim. Things don't happen in life to create you as a victim or make you feel sorry for yourself. That's not the purpose of it, and astrology can help you to understand the tests and the challenges that are being presented to you. A weather report, it can give you a report upon the energies, when you should start projects, when you should bring projects into fruition, when you should have certain conversations and when you shouldn't, when you should be when you should be resting and when you should be working. The heavens above tell us the weather report of our lives. Number 3, connection to all things. It helps you realize that everything is connected to everything. We're not meat suits that are just existing just out of complete randomness. It is an intelligent design, I promise you. And when you see that design, you realize that everything is an expression of everything else. That it's a fractal universe. The most macro is equal to the most micro. Everything is connected. And when you flip that mindset, the world is so beautiful. At least the natural world is. You just can't help but to hug a tree. As crazy as that might sound to some people, because you realize not only are you akin to that tree, you are the tree. Loving the outer world is loving the inner world, as within, so without. And then that leads us on to point 4, which is to look within, to look out so that we can look in, to realize that what is out is what's in. We are symbiotic. We are the same. Consciousness is consciousness is consciousness. It's just expressed in such an incredibly intelligent way. Almost getting through this. And so then we're on to point 5, to unlock mythology, to unlock the stories that our incredible ancestors put together for us in many different cultural ways and beliefs with many different names, but they're all expressing a very similar intelligence. And you can start to learn a great deal from the stories. And as this channel progresses and the podcast become more and more, we'll start to delve into, if I reach like 200 podcasts, we will have gone through so many different myths, got into what they're talking about. We can read them as planets, we can read them as chakras, we can read them as colours, we can read them as the 7 musical notes, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. We can read them as music. There's so many ways. They're so incredibly intelligent. To just read them as like a comic book is to really do them a disservice. And astrology, I do believe, is that key to unlock the truths behind the mythology. Okay, back to just this ugly mug and his cup of tea. Thanks for listening. I think this one is probably going to go down as the shortest one, which, as I'm feeling a bit low, I'm in need of some rest. If you saw my last podcast, I was a bit honest there in saying that, I've been struggling for time and for energy with things that are going on in my personal life. And that's still somewhat the same. I am a little bit tired and drawn out. But I hope that I was able to present 5 really interesting things for you to think about with astrology. And hopefully, if you continue to watch this channel, I'll be able to unlock many doors for you along the way. But please, I'm not here to preach. My only purpose is to try to pass on things that I've learned. And just like with anything, don't take anything as absolute fact. All truths are but half-truths. Literally your job upon this earth is to figure out what is useful to you, discard what is not, and add what is uniquely your own. Never take anything as a full truth. Full truths do not exist. There's always 2 sides to a coin. The rose is beautiful, but its thorns will cut you. Everything has this beauty and horror, and that's the dichotomy, the duality of the universe in which we live, which is an expression of life and consciousness itself. So, God bless you. Thank you for listening. Please tune in to the next one. Hey, I went over 1,000 views last week. Thank you to anybody who watched a single minute of my videos. Honestly, it means the world to me. This is maybe something that we could really grow, and through it find a community, a global community of like-minded people who are into this crazy astrology stuff and mythology and bringing back the old teachings. You won't find many astrologers that see the world the way I do. I have never really followed a specific person. I have pieced together things from really old books and old teachings, and I'm trying this. I know there's a term of New Age astrology. I'm interested in the Old Age astrology, quite frankly. Anyway, I'm rambling. This is going to end up being one of my longest videos if I don't stop talking, rather than one of my shortest. So be kind, be thoughtful, and breathe deeply. You're absolutely beautiful. Thank you.